Hi, today on Nat Chats, I want to talk about how to make an offer on a property. Now, the first thing I want to say is if you're interested in a property and want to make an offer, make sure you put your offer in writing. There are 3 reasons why. The first is that it tells the seller you're serious about the property and that you're committed to the purchase. Offers carry much more weight with a seller when they're in writing than they do when they're made verbally. The second thing is that offers aren't just about price, they're also about conditions. Sellers are often looking for the easiest route to the result, so the conditions can be an important factor in your offer, and the seller's got no way of judging those conditions again until they see them in writing. And the third reason is that you can be assured that your offer is actually being properly communicated to the seller when it's in writing. As I mentioned, conditions form an important part of the offer, and the conditions that you add, or their lack thereof, will make a difference to how that offer is received by the sellers. Now, there are a number of typical conditions that purchasers look to add to their contract, and even people that are making cash offers or calling it a cash offer can sometimes have conditions, which means it's not a cash unconditional offer. And by the way, for cash buyers, one of the things that I often say, particularly if you're looking to try and heavily discount your offer, is that the only difference between cash and a solid finance offer is 3 weeks. Now, to come back to conditions, the most popular conditions that are typically added to offers are finance, subject to termite inspection, and subject to building inspection. Now, with the subject to finance condition, you need to know how much you need to borrow and the time frame that you need for your finance to be approved. Now, normally that is 21 days, unless you're self-employed or a small business owner, in which case you're likely to need 28. If you're not sure, check with your bank or broker as to what you should be writing in the contract. And if you don't have your ducks in a row in relation to finance and don't know what you can borrow, don't make an offer. A good agent is going to ask you all of those questions about your finance approval, and if you're not organised, your offer is just simply not going to get up in front of the sellers. Now, when it comes to building and termite conditions, there are standard REWA conditions, or sometimes the selling agent has their own version that you can use on the offer. It's important that you read those conditions and understand what's covered and not covered. Now, if you want to add additional conditions, discuss those first with the selling agent before you add them to the offer. Sometimes those conditions don't need to be there. There are things that you can satisfy by additional questions or further investigation before you make your offer. Remember, the more conditions you add to the offer, the more difficult you're going to appear to deal with by the seller. And we're all looking to try and get the deal together for both buyer and seller. Whatever you do, please don't try and write your own conditions. We see this, unfortunately, all too often, where buyers attempt to write their own conditions, even when they're lawyers, and they just simply get them wrong. The conditions that they've written can't actually be satisfied. There are a lot of standard conditions that REWA has or that your agent might have that might satisfy your issues or concerns. And if you're not sure, you can always speak to a settlement agent who will give you a professional opinion on those. But please don't try and write your own standard conditions. They very rarely are accurate and get up on an offer. So just to wrap up, if you're serious about a property, put your offer in writing. It shows the sellers that you're genuine, and then you also get to know and understand and read through exactly what you've committed to. Because once an offer is accepted, and that can be verbal acceptance, you are both in a binding contract. Best of luck with the process, and as always, if you're looking for help and advice, you can reach me through any of our social media channels or call me on 0405 812 273. I'd love to help. Have a great day.